Hey, it's Ryan from 2MinuteTennis.net and welcome to Friday Q&A episode 1. Super excited to answer your questions. If you've got a question, throw it in the comments below and I'll look it over and I'll see if it's going to be appropriate for the next episode, which is going to be when? Right, next Friday. So I've got 3 questions here. Let's go over them and then I'll answer them. Question number 1. Ryan, I've been playing a few matches lately with guys who have a powerful first serve and very weak, dinky second serve that makes you run to retrieve. When I run to retrieve, usually by the singles line, he has a great deal of open court to hit winners. What can I do to recover as I feel like I'm incapable of getting back in time to even defend? Justin from USA. Justin, great question. I'm going to answer in just a bit. I'm going to go over the next 2 questions so that everyone knows what the questions are, and then we'll go over it. All right, question number 2. I'm working on moving my left arm in sync with my right on forehand and avoiding hugging myself. I find the left arm occasionally blocks my line of vision to the ball. How to avoid this problem? Jay from New York City. And the last question. Hey Ryan, I find it very difficult to close the racket face on the forehand drop as you recommend when holding an Eastern grip. Any suggestions? Best, Sigurd. I'm not sure where Sigurd is from, but Sigurd, thank you so much. And to Justin and Jay, super excited to answer every question. Let's get to it. All right, first question, Justin, really common situation. Your opponent has a dinky second serve, and their dinky, weak second serve actually turns into an advantage to them because you get pulled over, you hit, and then they've got all this open court to hit into. So a couple things. The first idea is we want to make sure that we aren't moving forward and then pulling back. We want to think of this as an approach shot. So when you get pulled in on a dinky second serve, you want to hit and you want to think go forward. That'll actually make it easier to cut off the shot that he's going to hit. But the next thing we want to do is don't hit the ball super hard. It's counterintuitive. We think, oh, I'm going to crush this thing. But that robs us of time to get in. And then we can't get over in time and he has a winner. So when you get pulled in, hit a nice, easy ball. I'm not saying super softly that he can go over and wallop it. But definitely do not hit it super hard. Again, that robs you of time. By hitting the ball easy, it'll give you the time you need in order to get into good volleying position. And the last thing is I want you to hit down the line. I want you to hit down the line because if you hit this ball cross court, then you have a farther distance to travel to bisect his down the line and cross court passing shot. If you hit the ball down the line, then you only have to go to here by the time he hits that ball. So it's a shorter distance for you to bisect his down the line and cross court shot. Same thing applies on the ad side. If he hits a ball really softly out here, hit the ball down the line softly. Again, I shouldn't say as softly as you can, but think of it as a medium speed that you're going to hit. Do not hit super fast because you got to have time to get into position. When you're at the net, you want to be slightly on the same side as your opponent because that bisects their down the line and cross court pass. It puts you right in the middle of where they can hit that passing shot. So when you get a short serve, in your mind, 3 things. You're going to hit an approach shot. You're going to the net on this. You're going to hit it easy, right? A medium speed shot, and you're going to hit it down the line. That is going to, without a doubt, help you win a lot more points in that situation. Now, Jay in New York City was talking about this left arm when hitting a right-handed forehand. You know, it's so common that players drop this arm and then they end up hugging themselves. If you've watched your forehand and you hug yourself on your forehand, or if you're a coach and you fed balls to your students and all of a sudden you see them hugging themselves and they almost look like they're in a straitjacket when they're done hitting the forehand, it's because the non-hitting arm dropped as they were hitting and it became a counterweight. So the racket was going forward and the non-hitting arm went back and they end up hugging themselves from the side. It looks like this. The reason they hug themselves is every action has an equal and opposite. Once you start dropping this arm, it will go the opposite direction of your hitting arm. What we want is the non-hitting arm to rise, but for Jay's situation, he's talking about how it's actually blocking his line of sight to the ball. So Jay, here's the easy fix. Do what Del Potro does. See, Del Potro doesn't keep his arm up, and it's actually what I do as well. I let my non-hitting arm, my left arm on my forehand, I let it drop and then I bring it back up again. There are players in the comment section of my videos who actually tell me that Del Potro does not raise his left arm on forehands because they see it dropping. Well, guess what? It comes back up. So that's a nice, easy way of making sure, and you can almost think of the racket and the non-hitting arm go down together and then up together. It's a nice, easy way, Jay, to make sure that it's not in your line of sight. So here's Del Potro. I want you to watch his left hand. This video is courtesy of Tennis Unleashed. I put their link in the description below. An absolutely incredible channel. Definitely got to check them out. So if you struggle keeping it up because you lose track of the ball because it's in the way, then just drop it down and then make sure it comes back up again. But that's something that you're going to have to film yourself to make sure that you are actually bringing it back up again, because I don't want you to drop it and then keep it down, then you'll hug yourself again. So the arms go down and then the arms go up. You could put your hands on either side of the racket to kind of feel that drill, where the left arm goes down and then it comes back up again with the racket. That makes sure that your hips can twist and you hit a great shot. And then last, Sigurd. Sigurd is talking about closing the racket face prior to hitting the ball on a forehand using an Eastern grip, right? So if you look at Federer hit a forehand, his racket as it drops is closed a lot, but he's got an Eastern grip. So here's what I want you to think of, Sigurd. I want you to think of the forehand as an edge shot, meaning you're going to lead with the edge of the racket toward the ball. So when you close your racket face or when your racket drops, your mindset isn't going to be on the strings, but it's going to be on the edge. Because what I want you to think of is as you're approaching the ball, you are leading with the edge of the racket. And as you approach and you're about to brush up, the edge is leading the whole time, almost like you're going to hit the ball with the edge, but you're going to choose not to, obviously, and you're just going to miss the edge and spin the ball. Players who struggle closing the racket face and who hit very flat into the back of the ball tend to think their brain is thinking about the strings. I want you to change your focus to the edge of the racket. So when your racket drops, think, all right, I want my edge leading toward the ball. That will close the racket naturally, and now you just make sure you're below the ball and you brush up the back. I hope that helps. By the way, I am an affiliate. This thing is absolutely incredible. The Topspin Pro, you can get one in the description below. This thing is awesome. I have all my students practice on this every single lesson just to slow things down and learn. And if it's getting cold in the winter months for you right now, this is a great way to practice at home. So if you have a question, please throw it in the comments below. Every Friday, I'm going to be coming here with the Q&A with Ryan on Fridays. I'm super excited for this series. If you, on the short return of serve, hit a nice medium ball down the line and take it as an approach shot. If on your forehand you drop your non-hitting hand and then lift it back up again, it'll keep you from blocking your eyesight. And if you lead with the edge of your racket toward the ball, rather than thinking using your strings to hit, but lead toward the ball with the top edge, which becomes the front edge that naturally closes the racket. You do those three things, there is no doubt. You're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2MinuteTennis.net. You got this.